Well, g'day guys, welcome back to the Boomerang Biker channel. It's a glorious Sunday morning here in Victoria. I'm out with my mate, my buddy Peter. Just stopped over at Smith's Gully for a BLT and a nice strong coffee. So I'm actually playing with some different camera angles and mounting positions. So as you'll see here, I've got the camera at the front of the helmet, whereas I normally have it mounted up on the side there, just trying some different angles. We recently did the Great Ocean Road trip, and if you want to see the trip, I'll put a link up in the top there. So you can click through and watch that video. It was an awesome trip. We had fantastic weather on one of the days. Coming home on the Sunday was pretty average, a lot of rain, but yeah, Saturday was fantastic. Now on that particular trip, I actually did all the recording with the camera mounted up on the side of the helmet there, which provides really good footage, I think, and it does give you a perspective of the side of the helmet, so it does make you sort of feel like you're riding along with the motorcyclist when you're watching the video. But what happens is that you actually miss quite a bit of the vision, because you get this side of the helmet there, and you miss quite a bit of the vision over to the left. So as we went down the Great Ocean Road, down from Melbourne, we had the ocean on our left hand side, and then the hills, the terrain and the bush on the right hand side. So you actually miss quite a bit of that vision, which was a little bit of a shame. Wow, there's quite a lot of bikes there this morning. So I thought I'd switch it over to this position here. So this is the first time I've done it. I'm curious to see what the footage is going to be like. I have to say, one of the problems with doing that is that this is the BMW Carbon 7, and it's a modular style helmet, and it's got a flip front. And because of that, you actually need to extend this wire, which is the speaker wire that runs through to the inside of the helmet, and the little microphones here, just there, I'll point to that. And you need to have enough wire hanging down so that when you flip up the front of the helmet, obviously that extends through to the mic. That's what I'm trying to say in a sort of a bad way, really. First impressions, I actually don't like the it's quite a weighty, quite a heavy lump that we've got here, and it's actually pulling the front of the helmet down and over to one side, whereas where I had it on this side, I didn't. You could feel it slightly on your neck, but not to the extent that this is having. So yeah, plus and minus, pros and cons, 6 and 2 3s, but we'll just see what the footage looks like. I've still got the mount, the sticky mount up there if I decide to go back to where it was before, or I can just mix it up a little bit. So on the subject of cameras, this is the GoPro. This is the Hero7 Black, which has got pretty good vision or image stabilization. The one on the front, this one here, hello, that is actually a knockoff GoPro, an action camera as they tend to call them, and it's called a Kaiser Baas. I think that's the right way to pronounce it. Now that actually gives really good vision, and obviously I'm not using any audio for that, so I just delete the audio track when I'm editing the footage and splicing things together. But one of the problems I've had with that in the past is that you have to plug it in to recharge it. the GoPro, if you've got a GoPro, you'll know that it's got batteries that you just switch over. So you run out of power, you know, jump into your tank bag there, grab a new battery, switch it over, and away you go. You can't do that with the front one. So what I've actually done is I bought a new skeleton, which is basically the thing that holds the camera, and the skeleton's got a cutout in it so that you can actually run power to it. So on the front of the BMW there's a little DIN socket which I bought an adapter for. I'm running a USB to my Samsung out of there, so a USB fitting, but there's also a USB-C, I think that's how you say it, which I've got a USB to a mini micro USB, this is crazy, which is then powering the Kaiser Baas full time, so you've always got power on it. So let's see how that footage looks as well. The other thing I've done is I actually, here's a tip for you, I mount my cameras with an American product called RAM, R-A-M, and they're fantastic. I've got a holder for the phone, and I'm using a RAM mount on the handlebars for the Kaiser Baas GoPro knockoff. What I've also done is I've bought a few additional mounts, and I've screwed them or located them onto the engine crash bars, so I've got a couple of different ones. So when I get an opportunity to stop, I'm going to switch the front camera over and put that on a crash bar, and we'll just see how that what sort of footage you get from that. Okay, so if you're interested in cameras, or you just want to come along for a ride, if you're in UK and in lockdown and can't get out and you want to take a ride with us this morning, that'd be great, so stick around for that. Oh, fantastic old Land Rover there, Series 1 I do believe. Alright, we're just coming over into Kangaroo Ground, and this is the Kangaroo Ground store on the left, so that should actually give you a perfect example of having this camera mounted on the front. You can actually see things over to the left. Okay, so we're going to turn left and we're going to go over to Warrandyte. Now, if you've seen any of my videos before on my channel, there is actually a trip that we did over here during COVID from Warrandyte right through to Smith's Gully, and then down into Hurst Bridge. So if you haven't seen that, it was a great video, and perhaps I'm a little bit biased there, but a great video. A sunny day like this, actually back in spring, so just a perfect day for riding, not too hot, not too cold, nice and sunny. So that was titled something like Top Aussie Motorcycle Roads, Warrandyte to St Andrews, or something like that. Anyway, have a look up here, I'll put a link up there, and if you get a chance to watch the video, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. If you do enjoy my videos, then please do hit that thumbs up button. Even better, hit the subscribe button and hit the little notification, and you'll get a notification, strangely enough, of any new videos that I do. So yes, hit the little bell, that's what I meant to say, and you will get a notification. So fantastic day today, this really is great. It actually was raining a touch. Yes, I actually do go out in the rain sometimes. It was raining a little bit when I set off this morning, and I did wonder if I'd made a mistake, because I'm a bit soft like that. But now it's glorious. It's not warm, it's only, we just looked down on the TFT, it's only 14 degrees, which, you know, might not sound, I'm just going to adjust the camera slightly, it might not sound cold, but for Australia it is. And so 14 degrees, but I'm wearing lightweight gloves, as you can see. These are my favourite gloves. They're like a neoprene type material. There's quite a few bikes out today. Yes, I'm sorry, bit of a segue there. I'm wearing my neoprene gloves, and I'll let you into a secret. I've got my hand grips on full, my heated grips, so my hands are nice and toasty. I did pack my winter gloves, but I don't really like them. You know, it's like trying to ride with a pair of boxing gloves on. There's an old joke about that, but I won't introduce smut into my videos on a glorious day like this, especially because it's Sunday and some of you might have been to church. It's always a great ride through here. It's not that far out of Melbourne, so it doesn't wipe off a complete day. So if you've got other stuff to do during the day, but you can sneak out for a couple of hours, you know, she who must be obeyed gives you a pass to get out there for a couple of hours, go and grab a coffee and just take a ride on the bike. So very, very popular with bikes, as we've already seen. G'day mate. Come on, bring back the nod. I got a nod from a Harley guy the other day. I was super stoked about that, actually. Are you going? No? I don't know what it is. Maybe the youngsters. I mean, I'm 50. I'm 55 in May. That's scary, isn't it? Maybe it's because the youngsters. I mean, I've been riding motorcycles since I was a teenager, and it's always been customary to wave or at least nod at oncoming bikes. But just, you know, since I've got back into biking, I've noticed a lot of people don't do it. I mean, maybe I'm being a bit soft and, you know, a bit sensitive, expecting everybody to wave at me because I'm on a bike. You know, you're buying a bike, you're not really joining a club. There's no sort of, you know, doesn't come with the ownership that you have to wave at people. I just think it's a nice thing to do. But I think it seems to be dying out a little bit, which is such a shame. I think the ones that don't wave are, let's put it down to this: they're either young and don't realise that it's a sort of unofficial thing. Maybe they've got an attitude. Maybe they just don't like waving. Maybe they're shy. Let's say this. Let's assume that they're shy, they don't have a problem, they really want to wave, but they're just shy and can't bring themselves to it. Okay, so we're going to be turning right here. Oh, nice, we've got a green light. Oh, nice Mustang. That was a colour that we nearly bought for my wife. I think it's called Grabber Blue. We ended up buying lightning blue in a convertible. So we've turned right and we're heading over to a place called Eltham. Eltham is a really nice town to live in. It's a bit overpopulated now, in my opinion, but it's I'm going to try and use a word here, synonymous. Look that one up. I'll put the meaning up there. If I get a chance, I'll put the meaning up out of thesaurus, is it? So I can say it's just so anyway, back to my rant on, it's not a rant, my information on Eltham. Eltham is synonymous, I'm going to keep saying that now because I've got my tongue around it, with sort of like a hippie type of culture, tie-dyed t-shirts, that sort of stuff, a lot of mud brick houses, which is similar to what we have. What's that? Delays expected. Eltham's a really nice place, but I just find it way too busy now for my liking. As I said earlier, it really is a fantastic day. I might actually, and this is a tip that there's been suggested before, I'll flash up a little map, because you know, a lot of you might not know whereabouts I live, and you might not know Australia as well, so I'll put a little map up somewhere around here, and you'll be able to see that we're actually going round in a big loop, and this will take us back down into Kangaroo Ground, where we'll pass Kangaroo Ground store on the right hand side. G'day mate. If you've ever been to France or ridden overseas, they do a cool thing over there. Obviously Australia and the UK were driving or riding on the left hand side, and people coming the other way, you can't take your hand off the accelerator or the throttle to give a wave, because obviously you're going to slow down. What they do in France is, it's kind of a lazy but cool way that they wave at other bikers, and there's two ways of doing it. So obviously you're on the right hand side, so what they do is they've got their hand on the left hand side, the clutch side, and they just sort of roll a wave off to the side there without actually taking the hand off the handlebars, which is pretty cool. And the other thing that they do, which I love this, and the first time I saw it, it just threw me sideways. The other thing that they will do in France is they stick their leg out. Now, there's not much point doing it because you're not going to be able to see it on the camera, but they stick their leg out, obviously to the left hand side, and it's such a cool thing to do. I really like it. So as I said, we're coming back down towards Kangaroo Ground, and at this roundabout we're going to go straight on. But a little bit earlier in this video, this is where we turn left, where those cars are going, and we went over to Warrandyte. There's the Kangaroo Ground store then. Now, nice old Volvo. That's like the one that Simon Templar had in the Saint back in the 60s. Or so they tell me about. You know, I was only a baby then. I've seen the reruns. So typically on a day like this, the toys come out. You know, cars, bikes, that sort of stuff. Again, we're still in autumn and it's still reasonably warm. Let's have a look. Wow, we're toasty 15 degrees. So people are still they're still going out on the boats. Although if you're going to wakeboard or ski today, you're going to need a wetsuit for sure. A full one, not just a shorty. Okay, so this is a great road that takes you down to Hurst Bridge. It takes you down through a place called Wattle Glen. Wattle, if you don't know what wattle is a very famous species of tree in Australia. It's actually a national try again. It's a national hang on, I can't say it. I just can't get it. I can't get it. It's a national emblem. I've got it in the end. So the green and gold. A wattle tree has got blossoms that are gold, and that's where the gold in the green comes from. Emblem. Far out. I got my mouth round synopsis. No, it wasn't synopsis, was it? I'm starting to ramble on here now. I might even cut this bit. Well, I was just thinking to myself that it's quite a dull and dark day today, and then just realised that I had my drop down sunglasses or sun visor down. So if you can see this on the front camera, that's down and that's up. Now I normally ride with a black visor on, but on the last couple of times out I've really struggled on an overcast day, so I thought I'd switch it for the clear one. I really should just get into the habit of carrying, you know, both visors with me, and then I can just switch them out as I'm going. I've got plenty of space in my MotoBags. I just always seem to forget about it. I do like black visors, especially in Australia, but if you've only got that one and it's a bit overcast, they can be a bit of a pain, especially if you're going through an area that's you know, a lot of trees and bushland. It can get quite dark. Okay guys, hopefully you're still along with me on the video. We've moved on to a slightly bigger road now. It's a little bit better on the shoulders and the wrists. And it's a little bit drier because it's got a lot more vehicles going along it. So certainly I've been doing a lot of rambling on this morning. I'm not even sure if I'm going to post this up as a YouTube video. It was more really about meeting up with Peter, grabbing a coffee and testing out the camera angle. Oh, I've got a fair few bikers here on the right hand side. Picked up a little bit of a convoy. 10-4. Great old movie. Rubber Duck. I remember as a kid when CBs came out and we all had them in our houses, and they were totally illegal in the UK, and they used to interfere with people's TVs and people come banging on your door, and then they'd dob you into the post office or GPO because they were unlicensed, and people had massive big antenna in their backyard. Died a death, obviously. Not here. A lot of people, including myself, we've all got we call them UHF, that's the frequency. So rather than a CB, Citizens Band Radio, we all still have them in our cars. A lot of people do. You might have seen, I'll see if I can point one out as we're riding. You'll see a lot of four-wheel drives with big bull bars, and they'll have a big UHF antenna on the front there, and that's just, you know, when you're going riding through the bush, the outback, if you're in a convoy, it allows you to talk to other vehicles. The truckies, the big trucks all have, like the Kenworths and Peterbilts, they'll all have UHF or CB, and they'll talk to each other. If you go out into the outback, you would certainly monitor your radio to see if there are any road trains coming. So a road train, if you don't know, is basically something like a Kenworth truck that'll be towing something like 6 or 7 trailers, and those guys, they really do get along. They get up to speed and they don't stop for anything. So if you can hear some chatter on the UHF and it's a road train excuse me, and it's a road train, the sensible thing to do, wow, there's a lot of bikes out this morning. Holy moly, it's the Black Widows. Wow, 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 wow. Woohoo! Accountant, lawyer, doctor. Yeah, they're not outlaw bikers, but they look the part. Yeah, so I was saying about the road train. You would certainly get off the road if you hear a road train coming, or you're on the radio and you can sort of give a shout out. You get right off the road, because those road trains, if they're on an unsealed road, they're going to be kicking up a lot of dirt, gravel, and you can lose a windscreen. If you're on a bike, you can lose your visor, you can lose your life. So the best thing is to get right off the road. My reference to the Black Widows is from one of the old Clint Eastwood movies, Any Which Way But Loose, when he has the orangutan and he gets chased by an outlaw biker gang that are called the Black Widows. Great old movie if you get a chance to watch it. It'll be on Netflix. going to go off now while I have a quick chat to Peter. And so guys, just say goodbye to Peter as he takes a turn towards his place, and I'm now back on my way home, heading out towards Whittlesea. Okay guys, that's almost the end of my pleasant morning ride out. I do thank you for coming along for the ride. I hope it's been reasonably interesting, apart from my rambling on and ranting. Hopefully it's been a great little experiment with the camera angles. In summary, on the camera angles and the camera mounting position, I'm definitely not that impressed with having the camera over on the right hand side to the front. It's just really just sort of pull your head out of whack. So I'll probably end up putting it back where I normally have it. That said, hopefully the footage might be a little bit better. It might actually be better with a full face helmet, a solid one that doesn't flip up. If you're thinking of doing this type of mount, it might, you know, be different in that instance, but for me I think it's a bit of a pain really. Be interested to see what the footage is like off the Kaiser cam. Anyway, let's see what happens when we get back to the computer and we edit it all together. So thanks again for staying along. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, like and subscribe, and join me for the next video. As always, ride safe and have a great day. Cheers.